Good morning. Welcome to your Monday. I am Jay Cleveland Payne. Broken heart again. Another lesson learned. Better know your friends or else you'll get burnt. Gotta count on me because I can guarantee that I'll be fine. Coming up to you with things you might not have heard from Monday, February the 14th, 2022. You heard that last night if you hadn't picked up on that one. And what we have for you today is a breakdown of some stories from the past weekend, going all the way from Friday to early this morning when we cut it off. Top 5 stories and a teaser story of what you guys have told us were good conversational stories that may not have been headlines, although a lot of these were headline-ish stories, and a teaser to something that you guys get to choose on whether we'll talk about it later. And we'll explain all that in just a bit. Now, one thing you can do to keep things going here, it seems kind of odd to ask for money up front, but that's what we do around here. Keep on listening, keep on watching. You'll see how things go. And if what you're liking is pretty good, we ask you to stop by a website called buymeacoffee.com/Jay Cleveland Payne. Verse right here. Actually to this morning, and for donations from you guys, you help make this show come across as well or as not as well as it is. Hopefully it'll get better. Donations to buy me a coffee can be in single or they can be subscriptions, so we thank you so much for anyone who wants to join in and help things out. But that helps keep this thing going, keeps me a little time to work on these things. Running a little late today, so that's how it goes. Now, as we said, these are 5 of the stories out of a large batch of stories, about 100, not quite 100, about 87 stories of the weekend. We take the top 15 stories that you told us in your engagement with our social media were the top stories. Pick 5 of those that were pretty conversational, and we'll let you know what you can talk about going forward throughout the day as you meet people in the grocery store or the office place or just in random corners of your life. Story number 1, getting straight to it, is this one. Jake Paul rips ESPN Disney's decision to pull Joe Rogan from UFC 271 broadcast, but stand behind Dana White. Poorly read, but you get the point. Sports.yahoo.com is that one. And Jake Paul, who's becoming, who still is pretty much an annoying prick, but becoming a pretty big name in the world of combat sports and boxing in particular. Apparently, a punchable face is good for getting punched in the face, and he's a good puncher as well. He is giving his support to the Joe Rogan movement for being canceled, semi-canceled, being blocked, being tall, jerkish, but also calling a little shade onto Dana White, the man behind the curtain for UFC, for essentially being the same guy, if you will. There's a lot of heat going on for Joe Rogan and his podcast specifically, and because of his podcast, the other things he gets just to do suffer. People want him to be off UFC, by the way. He's a great commentary. People love him on commentary, which is why a lot of those folks follow him to the podcast. Dana White, along the same lines, is a very popular person. No, he's not a very popular person at all. In fact, many people just pretty much hate Dana White and hate the fact that he took over UFC and sold UFC and still is somewhat in charge of UFC, despite being Dana White. So Jake Paul putting his 2 cents in, saying that, you know what, Joe Rogan's all right, but why aren't you, pushing out against Dana White the way you pushed against Joe Rogan for, free speech, being a dude, taking horse dewormer, sitting in ice baths, taking ashwagandha. I don't know what he else does. He's Jake Paul and he's Joe Rogan. We do know that businessman Jim Mattress McIngvale put a big chunk of money on the bet for his Super Bowl winning, and it turned out to be on the wrong side as he put $5 million up on the Bengals. ESPN.com put that there. And here's the thing about, we can do all those Super Bowl things wrapped up in this one. Here's the thing about Mattress Mack. What's really cool about him is, and whenever he's the Houston businessman who, whenever anything goes wrong in Houston, takes care of it. Pretty much anything goes wrong in Dallas, takes care of it. Ice storms, people come, hey, come stay at my mattress store. No power, flooding, hey, people come stay at my mattress store. We got you covered. Mattress Mack may be one of the greatest humans on the planet, just not very good in the Super Bowl betting, because I think this is the 4th or 5th time I've seen he put money down on somebody, and whenever Mattress Mack puts money on somebody, bet it all the other way. That's how that goes. Meanwhile, let's start with the halftime show. The halftime show, which was produced by a man almost 60 years old, and of course made for people who grew up in the 90s. All those club kids, all those white ladies dancing to Snoop Dogg in the clubs back in '92, back when I was in college. You know who you are. You know you loved it. Don't be doing your fake Twitter hate on the Super Bowl show. You know you were dancing your asses off last night. Do not try to front. It was a mass hysteria of something that was oddly enough built for middle America because, as we say, Dr. Dre turning 57 sometime this week, and Snoop Dogg hitting 50 last year, headlining the show that also featured Eminem, also featured 50 Cent hanging upside down like a bat, Kendrick Lamar, the only young cat in the whole group, and Mary J. Blige doing drama singing at a Super Bowl party. So she's the only one that can do drama at a party and get away with it because Mary J. Blige. That was amazing. That was great. It was a tribute to LA with even some shouts out to Tupac, some verbal shots to Tupac, and a little bit of kneeling at the end, a little tribute to Colin Kaepernick. That's getting some headlines. But the real story, the actual story of what went down, which is not here. Well, I guess it is here because the bet was there. The bet went down for Mattress Mack on the Bengals taking the win, and they did not quite pull it off. Bengals had the lead up till about the last 2 minutes, 30 seconds of the game, and the LA Rams were able to put it into the end zone after a rough night of not getting any running done. The weird thing is the Rams of Los Angeles were ahead for the first half, and then the Bengals had their comeback behind their own Cool Joe, or Joe Cool, if you will. And then at the very end, the Bengals could not pull off the last minute upset again, could not get back into range to tie it up or get a win. They end up turning over and downs, fourth down, about 40 seconds left, giving the Rams a chance to kneel and get their actual win. It's the first win for the LA Rams. The Rams in LA, of course, the Rams of St. Louis won a couple decades ago. And of course, the big story of this all is that all those kids in Nigeria and Guatemala from the Save the Children commercial ads now get brand new t-shirts that say Bengals Super Bowl champions. It's the punchline of the whole thing. All the gear that's printed out for the losers of the Super Bowl goes to some poor country someplace, and you'll see them pop up on some video somewhere where they're wearing Bengals Super Bowl championship gear. It's just the weirdest thing because you can't waste it, you can't destroy it. That's money. Going now to also the NBC and the Olympics. NBC, of course, aired the Super Bowl last night, followed by some Olympic stuff and plenty of promotions for both NBC shows and the Olympics. The problem is, NBC is facing ratings nightmare with Beijing Olympics. Bazinga.com, our source of this one, but you don't have to know that it came from them because you already know you're not watching either. I'm not watching. They're not watching. My family's not watching. Nobody I know is watching the Olympics. Nobody cares. Part of it is because it's the Winter Olympics. Part of it is because there's a weird sort of China vibe going on. And part of it is just, coronavirus. The only thing people are really keeping up with are some of the actual controversies. We're following the Russian teenager who tested positive for the drug for heart medicine. We're not following all of the losers because it took us a while to even get into the medals here in the United States. We're not following Shaun White, of all things, who basically retired, coming in fourth, could not even medal in his last Olympics. We're not following all the other big storylines going through for the Olympics, but we are. We know it's there because some of our favorite shows cut down early on NBC, and they have in hiatus because of the Olympics. That's what does Olympics. I've noticed it because now I have to watch my wrestling on Sci-Fi. But that's me. The ratings are down for the Olympics in general. They're happening for Winter Olympics in specific because that happens as well. The Winter Olympics not quite as well attended or as well watched and intended as the regular summer games. Part of it is because there is no hype of people there. Part of it is coronavirus is all sort of crazy. Part of it is just there's too much going on. Kodak Black, 3 others shot outside Justin Bieber after party in LA. The Daily Beast had this one. This popped up a day prior to the Super Bowl as a Super Bowl pre-game show party, pre-show party, hosted by Justin Bieber, was attacked by 3 rappers hanging outside the party in LA at 2:45 in the morning. Nothing good ever happens at 2:45 in the morning. Get shot. Kodak Black, one of the people actually shot out there. Along with them was the Baby and some other guys just hanging out after their sets in the concert. Still being investigated what's going on in this one. The Love tribute to LA that was the halftime show the day after in the Super Bowl showed the California love that most people sort of picture in their heads, and that's just random shootings in the street at 2:45 a.m. Nothing good happens at 2:45 a.m. Going on. We are hoping for the best. Kodiak Black in not quite so serious condition. Other folks not in too serious condition, but the fact that they were just having some fun and they get shot at the party. As we said, there's still more investigations going on into this story, so we'll keep on to it. I want to remind you that we are running a little behind today. So if you're a person that tends to run a little behind in your time and still wants to get some learn on, check out the Blinkist app. This is the conversationproject.com/Blinkist. Even though I woke up late, had a little bit of a slow go and had some things to take care of, I still was able to get in a full book this morning, a full nonfiction book because of the Blinkist app. I happen to listen to the books. We can read them as well. What Blinkist does is breaks down great books, nonfiction books and autobiographies into blinks. There are 15-minute or so breakdowns of the main points of the book. And you can listen to them or read them in about 15 minutes. That's simple. You have the choice. You can say you actually read the book, even though it's a summary, or you can listen to the book and do like I do and say I read a bunch of books. I read a book in the morning, read a book at night. I get my learn on and get it done quickly using the Blinkist app. You can too by going to thisisAconversationproject.com/Blinkist, a free 7-day trial of the full app. And we get a slight cutback, slight little bit because this is an affiliate link, but you will fall in love with this app and get more done, be more productive, be even smarter using Blinkist. Our final story of this morning is things that you said were conversational. Morgan Wallen responds to Madison Square Garden's Let's Go Brandon chant with a dad joke saying, "My name's not Brandon." WhiskeyRiff.com is our source for this one, and it's just that simple. The Let's Go Brandon chant, which of course is really saying F Joe Biden, has become a pretty big deal among people in the country music world. It's something that's chanted at NASCAR races where it was formed. It was birthed there, weirdly enough. It's going all over places as a thing that's just sort of a country music sort of style chant, if you will. Country music doesn't want anything to do with it, but you know, the people to show up want to show up, and they want to show their asses with Let's Go Brandon chants. What did Morgan Wallen say? He joked that, hey, my name's not Brandon, right? And that's all I'm going to say about that, and continue to set. Now, whether you think he's a for Brandon cause or against Brandon cause, hard to tell from just a write-up. Maybe the tone would have told a little bit better how it went. But he basically did make a little bit of a speech of the fact that the free speech being yelled at his concert, which was the free speech saying F Joe Biden, and sort of had to try to weigh it down because, he was sort of playing a concert. Let's go to a teaser story. This is a story that's going to be posted in a few moments, according to my clock here. And this is a story where this guy may be my favorite politician, the hero of the year. If he runs for president, he gets 3 of my votes. I'm going back to Louisiana and voting in my original parish and back to Alabama to vote there too, just so that he gets in this. This is for the New Jersey Assemblyman who proposes legislation fining retailers for shipping small items in boxes more than twice their size. If this is not a man you can get behind, then by golly, you are un-American. This is a cause we can all fall behind. I am down with this man. This man being the congressman in New Jersey, or the councilman in New Jersey. His name is John McKeon. He orders lots of stuff. He gets lots of boxes. He orders lots of small stuff and gets lots of big boxes. He is tired of this BS, and you should be too. McCown, 2028. Bet on it. I even said the wrong year, but it doesn't matter. If he runs for president, this guy gets my vote. I don't care what he does. It doesn't matter. What do you do? What do I care about you guys doing? I care about you guys checking out our rest of our websites. That includes this is the conversationproject.com, our main website, our home, if you will, where if you go there, you can find actual information about this here project. What do you know? I finally updated the website, and you can see past clips of things you might not have heard and some of the background behind the Conversation Project in its current form. Also, buymeacoffee.com/JayClevelandPayne, the first thing I brought up because it really is all about me and money. You do give us donations at buymeacoffee.com/JayClevelandPayne for the cost of a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a rack of ribs, a bowl of mashed potatoes. You can help keep the news stories rolling here for us and y'all as well. And I explained that you got in on the story by giving us the stories. If you follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Facebook, it's This Is a Conversation Project, and Twitter, th_conversation, you can check your feeds for Facebook and Twitter when you want to. Every 50 minutes, we put out brand new news stories. And as they pop up in your feed, we ask you to engage in them. Read them, number one. But like the headline, love the headline, hate the headline, share that tweet or that Facebook post. And the more engagement the story gets, the higher score it gets. On the beginning of the mornings, on Mondays, we give you from Friday through Monday morning. But for the rest of the week, it's basically from the day prior all the way back. We'll go through and we'll put them in a spreadsheet and rank them from top to bottom. And we'll search from the top 15 stories and give you 5 of those ones that you think are pretty conversational that may not have made the main headlines. Yes, Super Bowl was yesterday, but the Mattress Mack story is a little bit behind. So that was interesting enough, we thought, to bring it into. So check out those websites and check out those feeds and make sure you're a part of the show so you don't miss out on the action. Oh, by the way, teaser song of the day. It was from Mary J. Mary J. Blige with No More Drama. And it was no more drama because as she performed that one, showing out and falling off and just doing whatever, doing the Mary J. Blige thing and nobody complaining, it was literally the only song I could pull up with lyrics that I can get the clean lyrics to this morning to pull up into the show. So that's why we picked Mary J. Blige. We tried to pick Dre, but I couldn't pull any clean lyrics this morning. So if you want to promote a teaser song because you like a song, it's all genres, all comings, Morgan Whalen, if you like. You can do your best by reaching out to me on the social media at J. Cleveland Payne, as you see up there. Also, th_conversation, reach out there as well. This has been Things You Might Not Have Heard for Monday the 14th, Valentine's Day, 2022. Thank you so much for joining us on this day of love, after a day of Super Bowl love and California love. And hopefully you have a love to go to. And if not, well, you can reach out to me and I'll tell you right now, if no one tells you whatever, you can be my Valentine. I love you. Follow the feeds at facebook.com/This Is the Conversation Project and twitter.com/CCTH_conversation. Running behind, running late, got to get it done. Thanks so much for joining us on the live feed or popping in the on the rewind. And yeah, I know it takes like 8 hours for it to come back in. I know we're working on that. So always going at that. Love you, Eli. Love you, love you, bro. Love you, Big O. Love your take on the Super Bowl last night. And yeah, we're gonna talk about that halftime show sometime this week, definitely. In the meantime, everybody else, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Love all y'all. Let's have a great day.